We are now live.
Wow.
Coming to you in high fidelity Drive Time Radio. So, Phil, what is Who Versus?
Drive Time Radio.
Drive Time Radio.
It's morning Drive Time Radio.
In podcast form.
In podcast form.
From 240 somethings, early 40s somethings.
Early 40s. It's going to be 42 this month.
Suburban dads who don't have any discernible skill set.
None.
I'm anti-intellectual.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
I haven't read a book in 7 or 8 years.
I've never read one.
Can you read?
I have a law degree. I can read. Technically, I can't. I don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Where did the name come from?
Well, I think you came up with it.
Yes. Well, I stole it. I cribbed it
You cribbed it from?
from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the greatest show of
Possibly the greatest
of
show
our
ever.
generation.
I'm not even
would
sure
say.
what the kids are watching now.
Masked Singer.
What
Is that the thing? The Masked Singer.
Singer?
I was like, what is the lamest current show? I think that's a thing where they do karaoke or something. They come out dressed like a friggin' stuffy, as my kids would say, and then you guess that it's a celebrity. And
They
it's
take the mask off and it's T-Pain.
It's T-Pain or
It's always T-Pain.
Ken Jeong or something.
Yeah. Or Cisco. Remember him?
Cisco.
So I was talking to...
Oh, wait. I didn't even explain the name. So
Oh,
Who
yeah.
Versus comes from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia when Charlie informs the gang that he wrote a musical and somebody, maybe Mac, is like, Who Versus? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, who did you write it versus? They're like, you don't write a podcast or you don't write a musical versus anybody, but it turns out you do. And when you asked me to podcast 4 or 5 years ago, I said, who versus? Like, who are we doing this
There's no
against?
scam here. There's no scam.
There is
It's
a scam.
This
The obvious scam is that we want to make money.
We wanna make
without
money.
doing work. Which
actual
is
work.
Currently, what we have done for the last 20 years of our
Right.
careers.
It's just an extension of our professional lives of not doing real work and getting money for it.
I was telling Phil the other day. I was telling you the other day. How do I refer to you? What tense?
Third person.
Third person. James was telling Phil. I don't know what third person is. Again, can't read.
Can't read.
That. Where was I going with that? Basically, the only reason to ever. Oh no, I know what it was. Not the only reason to ever do anything is for money, which is obvious. Outside of your family, is that I have never had in my professional career an original thought. that like I've somehow made it this far, written a couple amendments, none in the Senate, none that have ever become law, very few that ever got votes, but like literally never had an original idea. And this building is filled with people that have original ideas.
Well, isn't our skill set that we take their ideas and we crib them as our own?
Yeah, that's right.
We just take good ideas and we popularize them.
I'm a catalyst. Oh, wait, is it catalyst? No, I'm an amp. I'm
You're
an
an amp?
amplifier.
Yeah.
I'm an encourager. I take people's good ideas and then I encourage them in that. And then we mop floors.
Yeah.
That's what I pretty much do is mop floors. And
I put on events. I throw popcorn parties.
popcorn parties, clean up. I do a lot of cleanup for your popcorn parties.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, your team. So I came into the office today a little bit embarrassed. I don't know where we want to start with this. A little bit embarrassed about my morning drive to work.
Sure.
Sure. For the first time in a long time, I usually listen to podcasts on the way in. I listen to Punch Bowl News for those who observe. You kind of have to listen to that if you work in politics. Yeah. And instead this morning, the spirit moved me. It was a beautiful day. There was no traffic. I'm just cruising on the road. I'm like, I want music. And so I go to my music app, and who should pop up but Dave Matthews Band?
Oh, DMB.
And so I'm a little bit embarrassed that I was just cruising to Two Step, which is like a 45-minute song on the way into the office. And I feel like for a lot of people, Dave Matthews Band is like one step removed from Nickelback.
Really?
Should I be embarrassed about that?
No. It's so funny. Yesterday on the way to work, I saw like a Honda Accord with a license plate DMB number 4 EV. DMB forever. Like, you brave young man.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. But yeah, no, I mean, were you just telling me something about Nickelback recently that, or no, it was another person who I shouldn't name that works in this building was telling me that Nickelback, the reason why is like one DJ liked him and was like nationally syndicated because there's no independent DJs anymore. There's no independent media or radio stations. It's all conglomerate. So it takes like one person to really like your stuff and they just pump it out nationally. And that's why Nickelback.
So they just brainwash the entire country into liking Nickelback?
Yes, exactly.
They're Canadian, right?
They're Canadian.
Big up to Canada.
Which is the number one suspect issue. I mean, Nickelback is like a crappy Canadian phony of Creed. Creed, American, amazing.
Well, isn't Creed on that same plane of existence as kind of being a joke, but everybody loves them because they're kind of a joke?
Yeah.
Like they've got this resurgence tour.
What do
they're
you
doing now.
mean? They're kind of a joke. It's the greatest American band in the last 50 years.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like they're not actually the greatest band,
Yeah.
but like they're doing this like return show,
Yeah.
and they're blowing out stadiums.
Yes. I had tickets to
Did
see
you go?
them. No.
Why not?
My wife bought me tickets for a Christmas present. They were unbelievably expensive. The show was in July, and then she informed me, "Oh, we got to visit my in-laws in Oklahoma." I was like, "So you got me a Christmas present that is kind of sweet, kind of lame, but actually sweet, and then you took it away from me."
For you and her to go together.
Yeah.
And
Or
then she took that
otherwise, I
away
would have taken you.
Yeah, I don't listen to a lot of Dave Matthews. I feel like they're kind of like pariahs for a lot of people, which is weird because they actually know how to play their instruments.
Yeah.
And they make some good funky songs.
From Virginia too.
Yeah.
Or he's maybe South African, but he grew up in like Hampton Roads or Virginia Beach or something. I've never spoken into a microphone before. Am I
Yeah.
doing this?
I think you're doing it
correctly,
right.
Or am I too
Matt?
close?
Yeah, you're looking good, dude.
Matt,
For everybody who doesn't know, Matt has is bearing the cross of I guess produce. Would you be called a producer?
Yeah, I'm a producer.
he's a
You're
producer.
a producer.
I'm producing this.
The man in the box.
Yeah, if you guys want to talk about having not an original idea, that's basically my job here. Is I'm pressing a button to record, letting you guys
Sure.
off. So.
But no one else in this building can do that.
No,
And so
of
you
course
get
Matt's a creative. He
get
has,
paid
he has
handsomely.
ideas.
I get paid handsomely to do very little work compared to
Man
the work
in
I
the
do, I get
box.
paid nothing for.
before we get into the weather, which we're gonna do.
For sure.
Do you want to talk about your trip to Thailand?
Yeah, sure, dude.
Are we picking this up? Does he need a microphone?
Yeah, I mean, I'm picking it up over here. I'm just gonna like loosen this guy
Okay.
on this and just carry it over, which I think this could probably work. It's a very disagreeable thing, but
Should we start having like a Diet Coke can on our thing and film this so we get Diet Coke as a sponsor?
That's a smart idea.
Because again, the only thing this is for money.
That's Who versus.
That's
It's
what
us
Who
versus poverty.
It's us versus poverty.
do you want Coke money?
Do I want Coke?
Coca-Cola money
Coca-Cola?
or Coke Industries?
Both.
Yes. This is about money.
This is all this is about.
That's what.
Well, and it's our undoing. Like this will this inevitably leads to us being fired.
There's only one path.
Yeah.
And that's us to being fired from
Yes.
our actual job, which
from real
pays
jobs,
us.
which keeps my kids fed and clothed.
So, for instance, I should be at my desk right now working,
Right.
and yet I'm here with you two, not working.
Or are we working?
Is this work?
Are we building culture?
Are we? I don't know.
Are we building conservative culture? And is Who versus part of conservative? Is that what we're doing?
I would say no, because no one's listening to this right now.
Well, yeah, it's like for the folks out there that are listening, which is no one.
Literally nobody.
My family won't listen
My
to this,
wife
nor
won't
should
listen to
they,
this.
because
I'm not telling my wife that I'm done this.
no, she'll. It's like I have to pretend to be somebody that I'm not at home all day, and then
Straight?
I get to be my real self at work, but not really, because my real self would get me fired
Yeah.
in the conservative movement.
know that.
So basically, I'm just living a lie. So the only place I can actually be myself is in this like 9x9 room
Yeah,
with Matt, the producer.
with padded walls and a picture of George
Continental,
Washington.
what is that? The Continental Congress? General Washington presiding.
They got paid to talk.
Yeah, but they had ideas,
They had
But-
ideas.
but, like
pretty good ones.
these, this picture is like deceptive. They look old. I think weren't like half these guys 18 years old.
Yeah, they were like 26.
They were significantly younger. Thomas Jefferson was very young, if I recall. Ben Franklin was the only old guy, and he was very old. I mean, Washington was maybe like 50, mid-50s.
Could you imagine any of these guys debasing themselves to do a podcast? Like if you transport the Continental Congress to 2024, you're like, hey guys, talking to a microphone for a couple hours. They wouldn't do it.
What
Well,
is
they
this
wrote newspaper
devilry?
articles though. It's probably like the podcast of their times. They had little
That's true. They
fake
had
gay Roman
pamphlets.
names, and they'd write articles. Probably beneath them. giving their, like-
Flavius writes.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They used what do they call them? Nom de guerres
Nom
Nom
de
de
guerres.
gays.
or nom de plumes.
Yeah, this is. I almost want to take this down because it's making me feel bad about myself. I'm listening to Dave Matthews Band. I'm not doing work. Probably gonna get fired doing this.
I feel like an hour of podcasting is more work than gets done in the city by most organizations, though.
Well, nobody really does anything in this town.
Because no one,
except
to your
for-
point, has original ideas.
no one has original ideas.
You told me this years ago, and it always stuck with me. There's maybe 4 people in this town that actually know how things work,
Yeah.
and the rest of us are just sort of like aping what they do and trying
Yeah.
to figure out what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, you always hear the saying "fake it till you make it," but eventually you make it, and you realize, like, oh man, I
faked it.
I faked it the whole way. I have to come up with an original idea, and what they, I think, end up doing is just grifting, just stealing money
Well, that's
from
what
people.
again. That's what this is.
That's what this is.
we want. Sponsorships. If there's any sponsors out there, we want your money.
Super Beats.
I will plug Super Beats. We'll plug Super Beats.
Yeah.
AG1.
Yeah, is that the green stuff?
yeah,
The
the
big
blue
green
water?
emo.
juice.
Yeah.
Blue emu that
Blue
you spray.
emo.
It's like, oh, you got an injury. Here's Windex. Spray it on. You're good.
It won't stink.
Yeah.
See, we're already doing plugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how we make the money from this. Probably got to do more than one episode.
You know what a great automobile is? The Ford F-150
That's right.
double cab.
Yeah.
Well, you could just do ad reads for companies that haven't reached out yet, and then you could pitch them the ad reads that you
Yeah.
do. Like the boxer briefs that people do on podcasts. You could do those.
Do boxer
Oh, sheath underwear?
Yeah,
I want to do sheath underwear.
No way.
Yeah.
It's called
It's
that.
got-
No way.
It's got a
I
spot.
understand.
Yeah, I don't.
I get
okay,
it.
All right.
I get it.
Trying
the
to keep it
mechanics
clean.
make sense.
I can't.
It's a family-friendly show. And sheath
That
underwear.
is such an on-the-nose name.
yeah.
I'm disturbed by
It's
that.
a little bit.
I don't like
It's
that.
very like you see the image in your head of what's happening down
Do we
there.
have cameras rolling?
You can feel it. Yeah, I got cameras on.
Is it traditional
them.
to look directly into them
No, that's ridiculous.
for the entire time? Is that normal? I don't think I've, outside of like my dad's camcorder, I don't think I've ever been recorded.
Yeah.
One time at a Cubs game and another time at a Michael McDonald concert.
Really?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I did Soundstage. Are you familiar with that? It's like a PBS program where famous past their prime acts come on and do
you said
it.
it's Michael McDonald.
Yeah, so in his prime.
in his prime, constantly.
Yeah. Anyway, you can see me in there with my Cubs hat,
Nice.
rocking out with all the boomers.
Nice.
It was a great show. Except what they don't tell you on Soundstage and those type of shows is if they screw up, they just cut in the middle of the song and start over. So you're like jamming, grooving to What a Fool Believes. And he's like, hold on. they just cut, reset the cameras, and you're like, what's happening here? And then they just like start it over. Do, 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 do. It's
So
like,
what does a concert take? Like 5
oh,
hours?
it's ridiculous. Well, then it was like maybe like September or something, maybe October. He starts breaking out all these Christmas songs. What the hell's going on
It's a
here?
Christmas album,
It was a
probably.
Christmas album they recorded ahead of time. I was like, he's like, this Christmas. Like, what is going on here? Play the Doobie Brothers. And yeah, and then the show ends up being amazing, but having sat through all the cuts and the resets, and there's like a camera on like a boom or something that comes out. What is this? TV's weird.
If you could go to one, I have the answer for me, legacy concert that you have not been to.
That is currently possible, meaning they're alive.
Currently possible, yeah. I'd be surprised if you and I don't have the same answer.
I don't know.
Billy Joel.
Okay.
I would go to a Billy. I
Yeah.
was this close to going to a Billy Joel concert. My wife was at a work event. There was like a bid
Yeah.
thing, and like nobody was bidding on Billy Joel, so we could
Oh,
have
it's like
gotten
a silent auction.
silent auction, and we could have gotten box seats to Billy Joel at Madison Square Garden
Oh.
for like $50. That was
Wow.
her bid, and then like 10 seconds before the bid ends, some goober goes in and bids like $350 for him, and just like cleans
jerk.
everybody out.
What a jerk.
And we didn't win it, but it would have been great.
Billy Joel at Wrigley Field would be awesome. I'd even do it at Nats Stadium. Like something about Billy Joel in a baseball field.
Yeah.
Would be
Very
cool.
Billy Joel.
That's a very Billy Joel thing. Oh, Madison Square Garden, the dude pretty much can
He sold
have
it out
anytime.
I think every week for a year.
Yeah.
He did, or every week for a month, or every month for a year. Sorry.
Are you? I almost had to get bleeped.
Hard R?
Almost dropped a hard R.
Oh, hard R. Yeah,
That's
it's early.
what gets you in this
It's
business.
early. That's what'll
That's
get
what
you.
got Norm Macdonald.
The hard R?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Then he said he started using Down syndrome instead.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't mean. He's like, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. What do you have, Down syndrome? It's like 10 times worse. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, Thai boxing, very fun stuff. Speaking of being in the background of ads, all the gyms I went to were like the tourist ones, so they're doing like the Instagram promos of
Yeah.
like people working out. It's mostly just filming girls' butts and like yoga pants doing squats. There's not a lot of fighting.
So that's what
going
you
on.
were doing. What were the other guys in the building doing?
Yeah, I was with the bunnies. They the real men,
Gym bunnies or whatever.
yeah, the gym bunny, the cardio bunnies. The
Cardio
real
bunnies.
men were. I mean, that one guy I was like fixated on, Vinny, who was doing bare knuckle brawling. Not even Thai boxing. He was just punching people with his knuckles and getting punched. Lost a lot of teeth. Cool dude. I think overall though it was a good experience. I just don't like sparring with people. It's very intimate. And the big thing is like clinching in boxing, you know, where you have to like hug somebody. This doesn't seem right to me.
So how do you
So
train?
you're
if you
not
don't-
into it, is what you're saying.
Sounds like you don't like Muay Thai.
No, I would say I don't like it, but it's cool to hit a bag for a little bit, some music on, you know, you feel like a tough boy.
You're
Yeah.
more of a what's the kickboxing exercise, Billy Blanks or whatever. You just like
Tai Bo.
Tai Bo.
You're a Tai Bo.
You're
guy.
Tai Bo. You're not Muay Thai. You're
Yeah,
Tai Bo.
I'm and that's
Bo.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I like the flexing in the
great
mirror kind of
sponsor.
stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's more fun. That's more up my alley. But also too, like I didn't know what the f- I was. I didn't know what the
What's
heck I was
happening?
doing. So they have people there who are like the expats who are like weirdos and losers. So like when you're sparring with them, like they'll just pop you in the head, and I thought that was normal. But they're actually trying to like punk test you. I didn't catch that, so I was getting popped in the head the whole time.
You
being
mean
like,
popped in the head, like punched in the head?
Yeah.
So you punch him back, right?
Yeah, of course. And then it just becomes like a little brawl.
Yeah, sweet.
It's fun though.
That sounds good. Should we do that? Should we go?
Should we go to Thailand?
We should
This
go.
is
We're not
clinching.
coming back. If
This
we go to
could- yeah.
Thailand, you and I are getting lost in Thailand.
Yeah,
You guys
Probably
want to
s-
come back immediately.
we would do
The smell
like
there is egregious.
Just everywhere. in
Open
the gym.
sewer grates walking down the street, and it's like every kind of mix of curry and like any kind
Smells
of
like
fecal matter.
Manhattan.
The older I get, the less I like Asian food.
Yeah.
Like, you give me a plate of General Tso's, I'll crush it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even want to look at something from Cambodia or India or any of that stuff. I can't eat it anymore.
Well, I sent you
Yeah.
the picture of the duck mouth, right? The fried duck mouth.
Yeah,
Yes,
like a duck
that was
bill.
foul.
I would never think of eating a duck's bill ever.
No,
No, you're a
degenerate.
civilized Western man.
Oh man, yeah. I like the greasy American version of Chinese food. I don't
Yes.
think I would like actual like Cantonese food or from the Hunan region, Sichuan.
Real spicy peasant food.
And that's the full extent of my knowledge of China, right there. Sichuan.
pretty
You want to do the weather?
Yeah. What
We're-
is the-
so I've got Pittsburgh pulled up if you want to
Sure.
do Pittsburgh.
how's Pittsburgh?
So today,
Steel Town.
So that's right, Steel Town, big industrial society, sadly part of the Rust Belt.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're bringing it back though, right? If DJT wins,
If we're gonna make it great again, it's got to
we're
come
going to make
back.
it great. We need American
US
Steel, coming out of Pennsylvania. Great town. Pittsburgh, never been. So today in Pittsburgh, the high is going to be 86, a low of 59. Looks like sunny all day. Great day
it's
to get
gonna
out
be a
there,
beautiful
people.
day.
Enjoy yourself.
It's gonna be a great day in Steel Town, USA, Allentown, PA.
That's another great Billy Joel
That's
song.
a great. But you
That's
told
sick.
me you were the one, and this is nigh on 13, 14 years ago, who got me into the Billy Joel B-sides. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know the big, I know
Everyone
the
likes
bangers.
Piano Man.
I know the bangers. I can't stand Piano Man. I can't listen to it.
I don't think
anymore.
he likes it either.
It's so overplayed. It's
He was
terrible.
He was interviewed about.
Play
he was
something from the
interviewed-
stranger.
He was interviewed, and the guy goes, "What song do you hate playing?" And he goes, "Piano Man."
Yeah, but it's. I'm sure it's required every
you
show.
have to. If you're going to a Billy Joel concert, you're dropping that kind of money.
Downeaster Alexa,
Ugh.
like a terrible name for a song until you listen to the song. You're like, yeah,
That song reminds. It's almost as sad as the ballad of. I just had it in my head.
the
What's
Wreck
that?
of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Maybe the saddest song in human
Gordon
history.
Lightfoot.
Yeah.
True
So,
story.
Downeaster Alexa's.
The Andrea Gale. What's the movie? Perfect Storm.
Yeah, with George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark and John C. Riley. That's a great movie, and every time I listen to Downeaster Alexa, I think of that movie, even though it's like, don't want to spoil the song, but he doesn't like crash and die. He just
Yeah.
doesn't catch any fish. But that's what I think of as Downeaster Alexa.
Okay, this might be a hot take. Is John C. Riley the most versatile actor in all of Hollywood?
Yes.
He literally does comedies. He does dramas. He was like,
I think he might have an Academy Award for Best Supporting.
He should.
might. He did.
We should look that
Holmes.
up. Matt.
I'll look
He
it
did
up.
Sherlock Holmes. He was
Yeah.
he was Holmes or Watson. I forget which one.
He's also in every movie ever made, and you don't realize it, but he
Yeah.
is.
Dr. Steve Brule.
Dr. Steve Brule, one of the greatest characters ever made. Like the majority of Hollywood or popular culture has no idea that he's doing that on the side.
Yeah. I would say, like,
That's such a good character.
if you had to pick one actor to be in every movie, he could do it. Like, you can't
the guy
get
sings.
does he?
He's a beautiful singer.
Wow, you couldn't get Joaquin Phoenix to do a comedy. be the most depressing comedy ever.
weird.
But you get John C. Reilly, he can do just about anything.
Wasn't he in Gangs of New York too?
Of
Yes.
course.
Yeah, he was
Yes.
great in that. He should be in all like 19th century movies. He has
Yeah,
the
he's-
look of like
he's
the
got that
black and
big
white
head.
daguerreotype. Yeah, big
Yeah.
old head.
He's got that
Big
big, head. It's
Irish
perfect.
head.
Irish noggin.
He's south side of Chicago.
He got an Academy Award in 2003 for Chicago.
The movie Chicago?
Yeah, the movie
Isn't
Chicago.
that like a musical about like gangsters dancing on a stage or something? Lame. I'm pretty sure yeah. All right, we were right.
We were right. John C. Reilly, greatest American actor ever.
Yeah.
Golden Globe, Satellite Awards, Teen Choice Awards,
Teen Choice.
Sexiest Man in Hollywood 2004.
I don't believe that, but that's made up. But did he get a Nickelodeon award where they slime him? Get slimed?
Yes. He was in the Stinkers Bad Movie Awards for Talladega Nights.
Oh!
What?
Yeah, most annoying fake accent.
That's a
male.
ridiculous claim.
Yeah,
that's not great.
That's insane. Talladega Nights is great. I mean, I get that it's Hollywood liberals making fun of conservative Southerners and their culture and basically everything they stand for. Don't care. Still hilarious. I think even the Southerners get the joke.
So James Caan was talking about doing Elf with Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Or Will Ferrell was talking about it, and he goes, "Yeah, the entire time James Caan is telling me like, look, kid, like I'm a real actor. I was in Godfather. I don't get you. I don't know why you're funny. You're not funny." This is while they're doing the
He's
movie.
not funny,
and
but-
he's just and Will Ferrell goes, "Yeah, you're right. I'm not a comedian. Like I do goofy stuff on camera on stage." And like this was like a 4 or 5 week, filming, and every day, like dead serious,
Just kicking him in the
James
teeth.
Caan is telling him like, "Guy, we just did that scene. I don't get it. I don't understand your appeal. Like that scene was ridiculous." And at a certain point, Will Ferrell starts to get very depressed about this, and so he's trying to like just slog through these scenes. So anyway, they do the first viewing, and at the end of it, Caan goes like, "I still don't get you, but apparently everybody else does. Good job." And that was it. That's what you were
that
supposed
was
to
the
do.
end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be your hottest take, Phil. Or my hottest take is that Will Ferrell is the least funny man in America.
Least funny?
Least, funny.
I don't know about least,
Least
funny.
naturally funny. He's
does-
not funny.
He does culturally iconic movies like Talladega Nights and
Ron Burgundy, Anchorman,
Step Brothers,
Step Brothers.
Ron Burgundy.
Some of the funniest movies ever, but I don't think it's him.
But there's
Old
some
school.
comedians though who are funny in roles who are not funny. Like Chevy Chase is like that. Like Fletch is a great movie.
Yeah.
But like I can't imagine anyone saying Chevy Chase is naturally funny.
Oh, I think he's naturally hilarious.
More so than Will Ferrell?
Slaps it 100%.
Okay.
He's got more comedic. What's the word? Comedic gusto in his pinky.
Comedic
than Will,
presence.
Comedic presence
Yeah.
in his pinky than Will Ferrell has in his entire like 6'5" frame or whatever. He's just not funny.
What would you say is
I
Will
think
Ferrell's best movie?
his Anchorman for sure, or
Anchorman?
Step Brothers. I don't know.
I go Step Brothers.
But, like-
because of John C. Reilly.
Because John C. Reilly. The thing about Will Ferrell is, I think he's a good actor. That's it. That's it. I think other people write his stuff, and he's a good actor. I don't think he's funny. He can't do stand up.
No.
There's no way he can do stand up. If you can't get on a stage by yourself and do stand up, you can't. You're not funny.
He's got like that. I know you turned me on to I Think You Should Leave with
Yeah. What's that guy's name?
anyway, forget his name.
Something.
And like the whole premise is very awkward.
Yeah.
Like humor, things that don't belong in the scene.
Yeah.
He's kind of got that.
Yeah.
Right? He's just like throwing out awkward lines that make people kind of cringe and feel uncomfortable, and your natural reaction
Yeah.
is to laugh. That's kind of how I see him.
I think pound for pound or dollar for dollar, he's the worst actor in the history of America.
Wow.
I think he's a decent actor.
Wow.
But I think if you look at his movies just in dollars and cents, if you look at his movies in terms of like, I don't know how you evaluate it, like how much it cost to make and how much it made, I bet his movies are like, I bet that ratio is a negative inverse ratio and it's the worst, the most egregious.
Counterpoint, Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
Worst actor ever?
Well, is he an actor? I guess he
Actor,
acts.
director?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like
But he has a mint. He just like prints money,
Printing
right?
money.
that's what I'm saying. So
But
we're
he's
doing,
not
like,
funny at all.
Yeah, like money per funny. Like I would say Tyler
Money
Perry.
per funny. That's what I'm talking about.
There we
Money
go.
per funny. I bet Will Ferrell is the worst in the history of cinema. Having said that, I really enjoy his movies. they're amazing.
They're great.
They're amazing.
great.
Like Step Brothers and Anchorman, and honestly, Anchorman 2. Oh my gosh. Semi-Pro?
Yes.
Semi-Pro is one of my favorite movies. You know what my favorite sleeper comedy is? Is Walk Hard. John C. Riley.
It always comes back to John C. Reilly.
The voice of a generation.
Yeah.
Songbird of a nation. Sings beautifully like an angel.
So going forward, we're probably about time to wrap up here.
You think so? I was just getting warmed
You
up.
wanna keep-
I got
let's
some
keep
more hot
going.
takes.
We got time.
No, we don't
We
have
got-
to keep going.
I don't-
My feet are itchy.
Yeah.
And do I have syphilis?
You want me to take a look
Is
at
that
it?
what that means? Like, I don't have athlete's foot. That would
No.
involve being an athlete. But like, I put my socks on,
Yeah.
and my feet are itchy. That's weird. I think it's
Shuffling
syphilis.
around. Yeah, you're shuffling around.
Maybe I got worms.
We should have ended this.
Yeah,
when I called
you
it.
should have ended this before I interjected about my health theories. You know what I should do is cut an onion in half
Mm-hmm.
and tape it to my foot.
The Romanian cure.
Is that Romanian?
Yeah, we can ask the Romanian we're hiring.
Yeah.
I don't know any Romanians.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they like all kinds of stuff like bat's ears and like grandma
Yeah.
leather.
Yeah, the eye of a newt.
I have a newt.
Yeah. Witches.
Homeopathic
They have a lot of
remedies.
witches in Romania.
Naturopathic. No, Vlad killed them all,
Vlad-
didn't he?
yeah.
Well, he killed the Muslim witches.
Right. Saracens.
The good old Christian Catholic witches.
Turks.
Yeah, the Turks.
Yeah. Witches.
Put them on a stick.
That's episode. Stay tuned for episode 2, where we take a deep dive on witches. The Salem witch trials.
We could bring a witch on.
No, not in my building.
We are not bringing like a practicing Wiccan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
We're not doing that.
Wiccan.
We don't want that presence here.
You want that juju?
that kind of evil? No.
Well, I do like having health conditions be part of the show. I think we could talk about that.
Movies. It naturally went to movies.
course.
That's what Phil and I talk about. Is
course.
movies, and we had some hot takes.
Are we doing interviews?
You could.
We're gonna do interviews.
We're going to do interviews. We're going to call cities around the country and ask them what the violence is like in
What's the
their town
violence?
because this entire country is engulfed in flames right now.
Carnage.
And it's
American Carnage.
It's our series, our 30-part series on American Carnage.
On American
and
Carnage.
it's only going to get crazier run up to the election and after.
Yeah.
If Trump wins, this calling around to different places in the country and asking them what the violence is like is going to be huge
Yeah,
because every city is going to be on fire.
Blood and
Maybe
soil.
this one.
Yeah.
certainly.
It's going to be a PvP zone. Oh, you know what that is?
I don't know. I don't think
I
you
don't
should
understand.
explain
I don't
it.
speak Zoomer,
There's
man.
not
Come
enough
on.
bleeps on that
Right.
bleep button in the world to bleep out the things you've given us today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of work to do.
In post production. Well, Phil, you want to pray us out? I don't know. We could. You're a Catholic, so
Yeah.
You don't pray.
That's the one that counts.
yeah.
I don't know. Would we just walk away from the mics? How do we
Final
end the
question. I don't know. If you listen to enough Tuckers, when he's done, he's like, all right, so last question, meaning if you have more to say, no
You're
one's
out.
going to hear it. You're
Yeah,
done.
We're cutting the cameras.
Yeah.
Is he CIA?
He tried to be.
I know he tried
Putin
to
called
be.
him on it. If you check the archive, you remember in the Tucker Putin, and granted it's through like a translator, but Putin constantly refers to the archive. He's like, well, if you look in the archive, he constantly is talking about the archive.
What's the archive?
I don't know, but he's talking about it all the time. Like it's like the record shows, or
Yeah.
if you go back in the press, but the translator always uses archive.
That's sick.
I feel like they have a massive archive. Like that's my only conclusion is that they have an underground archive of literally everything that's ever happened on like microfiche.
Okay. Final question. Okay. Before we end this.
Does it
first
involve the
episode.
archive?
Well, maybe. Given where we are right now, show number 1, we're going into show number 2.
Right.
Who is a guest or a call-in guest we could realistically get?
Todd
Todd.
done.
It's right. Our
He'll be our
friend
first
Todd.
guest, but he's a call-in.
He's a call. We don't actually want him here.
No.
No.
Do you want me to bleep his name?
Well, his last name.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be Todd.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll do that.
And that's
Because-
for us. I don't
so
want
we'll
to hear
get
his
him
name
fired.
again.
I don't want to see him.
That's why he's a call-in. For everybody who doesn't know, and you'll sadly get to know him a little bit on the show. Todd, how would you describe him? Great. He's a great guy.
He's like
first off,
a great guy.
Very genuine.
Yeah.
Good guy.
He's got
good
a
heart.
huge heart. He's like this is gonna be so bad. But if Forrest Gump was more and like into really niche things like
Yeah.
90s grunge, video games, wrestling.
If Forrest
Video
Gump
games-
played Sega Genesis, would be basically
Right.
That's right. That's right.
That's.
That's right.
I don't know where to go from there. We should just end the show.
Yeah. That's
Well, this has been a lot of fun.
If Forrest Gump was more. That's Todd. Beep. Yeah. That's it.
That
everybody
was-
look forward to Todd.
Yeah. Everybody look forward to Todd on our second episode.
Sirius XM.
This was-
is that a thing?
Yeah, seriously.
Can we get on Sirius XM?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Do we make money?
Yeah.
Make so much money.
Dude, this is
What are you going to spend all your money on?
Cars,
Hardee's breakfast.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going
Thailand.
to do. Trips to Thailand.
Pancakes.
Hardee's breakfast.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, this is a lot less imposing than I thought it was going to be. This is
Easy.
like way more
Because
casual.
it's just
We're
us
just
hanging
talking.
out
Yeah.
with a robo in front of me and this camera that I keep looking at. I just can't stop. I can't not look at it.
You'll get used to it.
You've been on camera before.
I've
You've
been on
done this.
camera.
You're what they call a pro in the business.
I'm not.
Do we cross brand? Do we start referring to your other side project?
I don't think they'd want to be associated with
think they
this.
wanna be
They don't
associated.
want any part of this smoke.
Sure, understood.
Yeah, because I'd like to keep that other side project.
You want to, because that actually pays.
Because that's a fun thing that I do to help the world and help people. You don't think so?
Womp womp.
Yeah, I don't think
no, I actually agree. I just think you're totally wussing out, but cross
well-
brand, man.
I'm putting my social security on this episode title.
Sure.
So, I mean, yeah.
Sure. It's in the archive.
It's in the archive. Well, this is fun.
Good.
Thanks, James.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you,
Appreciate it,
Matt.
guys. That's it. Get out of here.
And